Hi, good morning. This is Backbenchers. I'm Saranya. Today we are going to see about the current affairs of 12/7/2021. The first topic is Zika disease. Alarmed by the cases of Zika virus in neighboring states such as Kerala and Karnataka, has issued guidelines to prevent the spread of the disease in the state. So it is very important to study this topic, and you should know why the Zika virus is spreading. It is spread by means of predominantly by the infected mosquitoes from Aedes genus, mainly called as Aedes aegypti. The mosquito is also the reason for the spreading of dengue, chikungunya, and yellow fever. They usually bite during the daytime, mostly during the early morning or later afternoon. It is also spread by means of infected persons, that is the mode of person to person spreading. The first virus was identified in Uganda in 1947 in monkeys. Later it was identified in 1952 in United States Republic of Tanzania. What are the symptoms of Zika diseases is you get a predominant headache, conjunctives, fever, muscles pain, skin rashes and joint pain. These are some of the symptoms you will come across while you are infected by means of Zika virus. According to WHO, the Zika virus has no treatment like corona. They have putting the vaccinations for this. There is no treatment or vaccine. WHO advises the consumption of lot of liquids along with pain and fever medicine for speedy recovery. So how it transmitted from a pregnant woman to fetus through means of sexual contact and transfusion of blood and blood product, and it is by means of organ transplantations. So these are also some of the reason for the spreading of HIV too. That is also the main reason for spreading of Zika disease. Next thing is Avicinia marina. What is this? Sometimes the questions might be asked, what is this Avicinia marina? So it is highlighted in that news channel because a recent survey has indicated that lot of species about this has founded in India, and you all came to know that it is a mangrove, predominant mangrove species. For the first time, a reference-grade whole genome sequence of highly salt-tolerant and salt-secreting two mangrove species, Avicinia marina, was reported in India recently. Okay, I told you already it is a predominant mangrove species, and it consists of 75% of seawater. It can tolerate up to 75% of seawater and can survey up to there into the seawater, and also tolerate more than 250% of seawater too. It is among the rare species which can excrete 40% of salt through the salt gland in the leaves, besides its extraordinary capacity to exclude salt entry to the roots. So it secretes 40% of salt through its leaves, and also it prevent entry mode of the salt by means of the root mode. Okay. So next thing, it is marshy intertidal estuarial region. Mangrove are a unique group of species found in marshy intertidal estuarial regions and survey a high degree of salinity through several adaptive mode. It has a highly adaptive mode to survey in that particular places, and that's what it is a very peculiar rare species in India. Okay, so what are it economical value means? It has a productivity of wood trees and provision of habitat, food and spawning grounds for fin fish, all shellfish. It has a place for habitat for living things or living species to survive, and provisions for habitat for birds and other variable fauna too. Production of coastlines and aggregations of sediment to form a new land. It is also a very peculiar functions of, or very peculiar thing about the mangrove forest. All know that 2004 you got a tsunami, and most of that coastal lines are prevented by means of or protected by means of this mangroves. So it acts as a protective agent in this coastal line. Okay, so according to it forms a link between the marine and terrestrial ecosystem and protect the shorelines and provide habitat for a diverse array of terrestrial organisms. According to Indian state of Forest Report 2017, India has nearly 3.3 percentage of world's mangrove vegetations. You have to note how many percentage are there about mangrove is 3.3. Now I'm showing you this is mangrove of India. You all know that it should be a place of where it is of coastal region should be provided, and here it has 3.3 percentage total forest area. It occupies 3.3. It's very important. So these are some of the highly noted mangroves in India. This is Kaveri Delta region, Goa mangrove, Ratnagiri mangrove, mangrove Gujarat, Krishna Godavari mangrove, Mahanadi mangrove, Sundarbans. It's the toppest mangroves. So these are some of the mangroves in India. So you should note it and you have to study it about. Next thing is land bank system. So looking upon the heading, you think that land bank system, whether it's related to land or it's to bank. So it is not about land and bank, it's about industrial. Okay, industrial information system. So GIS enabled land bank has been gaining popularity nowadays. So how it is get a popularity by means of integrated of industrial information system, IIS. What is IIS? Is nothing but it is of details that contains about that industries are stored, okay, with the help of or with that aid of GIS, that is geographical information system. With the state, individual states are correspondence with regarding to the storing of informations about their industries and peculiar about their systems. They want to show it off what are the positives and negatives in the industrial systems. Okay, IIS portal is a GIS enabled database of industries clusters across area across the state. Okay, so what is about industrial infrastructure related in informations, what it might contain? So it contains about connectivity, and it contains about the infrastructures of industries. It describes about the natural resources of that industries, and it also describes about the plot informations, plot level informations, that vacant plot, how much it's available. That details are provided in the industrial infrastructures, that is IIS. Okay, then on a line of activities and a drainage system, how the wastage or drain it, whether it is into the sea or river, and how it is properly utilized before they have shed it into that particular places. Then it has raw materials, how much raw materials they are allocating for this, and they are also showing heat maps. Heat maps, that's nothing but horticulture, agriculture, mineral layers, or multiple things are connected with it, his budget. Then that you are also in connected with that of forest. How much they are involved by not destroying the forest, how they are ready to increase the forest area while they are also increasing the industrial area too. What is their uh, givenity to that forest? These are some of the things which has included in the industrial infrastructures e-related informations. Okay, there are also some stakeholders in this who are all supporting this IAS along with GIS, National E-Governance Divisions, the National Center of Geo Informations, then Invest India, then Bhaskaracharya Institute for Space Applications and Geoinformations, Ministry of Electronics Information Technology, that is Maitri, also supporting this initiatives to get into that all the things are digitalized and all the things are come under this. More than 4,000 industrial parks has been mapped under this, and of the system more than 3,300 industrial park across 31 state has reported how many hectares of land they have occupied. About 4,75,000 hectares of land they have occupied and they have utilized for their industrial purpose. Next thing, if they ask you what is meant by land bank system, then immediately your mind has to get into that it is for mainly of industries, not on land and bank. Next thing is brick. So this year the brick is very important thing, because India is the head of a BRIC summit for this year. So it was actually established in 2009, and all of them will call that as its collective voice of southern world. And it is the chair of BRIC. I have already told the chair of BRIC of 2021 is in India, and this is very important. They will ask again and again, repeated mode 1 year, 2 after year, which are the theme of BRIC, or what is it, who is the chair of BRIC, or BRIC summit is held in which place. This is the continuous question they are asking. BRIC 15. Intra-BRIC cooperation for conductivity, continuity, consolidations, and consensus. Okay, so it is the third time that India chaired this BRIC summit after 2012 and 2016. So it is also important. Sometimes they will ask, it is the first India chair is the first time for BRIC, or it is the second time. There will be a strict question, so you should be of concern that it is the third summit India is holding that. Okay, next, agreed to. Why it is a news? So STI led BRIC Innovation Cooperation Actions Plan 2021 to 24 proposed by India. Okay, so what they have told that we have to share that innovative ecosystem with the BRIC countries, so that all the state might concern about that thing and they can develop according to the necessity of their need. Okay, so this is the BRIC news, and as all of you know, BRIC members is BRIC, that is that is Brazil, that is Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These are some of the BRIC state. Okay, so next thing is a very highlighted thing is new population policy. What is new population policy? Why it is in news? So whether it is related to all over India or else it is belong to particular state, means all over India is in a plan of implemented population policy, a new family planning program, but now it is highlighted by means of UP. What is UP concern? On the World Population Day, you all know when is World Population Day? It is of July 11. Okay, so Uttar Pradesh is a state. On world population, UP government announced a new population scheme for 21 to 30. The new policy has a provisions to give incentives to those who held in population control, who are has been in the population control method. They are given the incentives to increase that population control method, because all of you know of India, UP is the highest populous state, you all know. So they wanted to decrease their population by giving certain incentives to reduce their populations. Okay, so what is the policy contained as? Policy aims at to decrease the total fertility rate. They want to decrease the fertility rate by means of somewhat 2.7 to 2.1. They have to reduce it, and then increase modern contraceptives prevalence rate. Okay, so that is precautions method has been developed, increase main method of contraceptions, because in a society of patriarchal, mainly this concept will be withheld in the woman's head. So they have increased the male method of contraception, so that the woman's health will be preserved or it can be taken care of. Decrease in maternal mortality rate. Due to this, a high number of children's birth rate will lead to maternal mortality. That is during the pregnancy time or during the delivery time, women's leads to that is leads of death. So to decrease this, it also decrease the maternal mortality rate. And next thing is, what are the incentives? I've told you what are the incentives they have provided for this is promotions, increment, concession in housing schemes, and other perks to employees who adhere to population control norms and have two or less children. So overall they are providing this as promotion, increment, and housing schemes concessions are given to the persons who are having only two children, not more than that, less than two children or two children. Okay, and another scheme they are providing that public servants who adapt the two child norms will get two increment during the entire service, maternity, or as the case of maybe a paternity leave of 12 months also they will issue with full salary and allowances, and 3% increment in the employee contribution fund, that is NPS system. So the national pension system, they have increased as 3% contribution fund when they are having the children of less than 2. Okay, for those who are not on the government employees and still contributed, they are not in the government employment but still contributed to the national population control policy, means they have given in that allowances in taxes on water, and also home loans, medical facilities also they are issuing. And if a parent of a children if they have only one kid for vasectomy, he or she will be eligible for free medical facilities till the age of 20. The kid will be available of 20 years medical free services in the government institutions. Okay, so Uttar Pradesh government plans to set vasectomy is very important one in this, and they have said state population fund so that they can implement this very fast as possible. Okay, introduce population control as compulsory subject in all secondary schools so that at the school level the child might know that they should have two children so they can opt for the incentives what their governments are providing. So men, it is available for the men who is of about 21 years and women who is about of 18 years. And another important thing is it is voluntary. It is voluntary basis. It's not compulsory basis. It is a voluntary. If you are doing this, we will provide you this much of incentives. If not, your incentives will be cancelled like this. Okay, so this will decrease the population's level of UP. So next thing is right to repair. If you hear this, what is right to repair? What I have to repair? It is that repair their own electronics and other product. The question might be asked, right to repair means, so they will give four options of that is not related to each and everyone. So it is of to repair their own electronics and other products. What is one electronic and other products? Why it has to be done that electronic system? Because it is a right to consumer to be able to repair their own electronics and other products. The goal of the movement is to get companies to make spare parts, tools, and information on how to repair devices available to customers and repair shops to increase the lifespan of products and to keep them from ending up in landfills, because most of the things are damaged and within 2 years they have given us a guarantee for 2 years, and after that we have to spend our own money and then we have to repair it, or else we will put it in the landfill, that is electronical waste. Okay, so in concern of to avoid this, the governments are in an initiative, the world governments are in an initiative to enable the try to repair. Already US made, that is all of us know, that is our Joe Biden has signed an executive order calling on the Federal Trade Commission to curb restriction imposed by the manufacturer that limit consumer ability to repair their gadget on their own terms. They should not enable any terms and conditions to repair for their customers of their own. Then UK also introduced right to repair rules, but there is a negative in this part is, and enriched company like Apple, Microsoft are saying that their product are not safety by means of this right to repair, because if they given that alternative kits to repair for their daily using product, the blueprint will be released and the product and their secrets will not be in the format of rights, right? They also argue that such initiatives threaten data security and cyber security too, so they are not allowing this type of movement to come on out. Next thing is VAS Unity spaceship. What is this news? VSS Unity spaceship suborbital flight. So VSS Unity spaceship with 6 people on board recently took off from New Mexico and reached an altitude of 85 km from the Earth before returning. Such a trip is called as suborbital flight. So what is suborbital flight? You should know, right? So satellite need to reach a threshold speed in order to the Earth orbit. If an object travels at a horizontal speed of 28,000 km per hour, in 1 hour it has to reach about 28,000 km. It goes into the orbit once it is above the atmosphere. So at such speed, a satellite prevents itself from accelerating towards the Earth due to gravity. It will not allow the gravity to pull into it. It is above the gravity. Okay, so at that gravity level, at that above gravity level, all the persons in that flight will feel that weightless, right? We are feeling that we are weightless because we are beyond of that gravity things. Okay, so why it is called as, it is of VSS unit 22nd mission. Why it is important? It is already in news because it is of 22nd mission only, because Srisha Bandala is an astronaut. I told you already that a 6 person has traveled in this, and Srisha Bandala was an astronaut born in India. She was also traveling there and reached that suborbital state, and she has seen that in the round space and the spherical shape and all, and she is a third astronaut. Okay, it's very important. Third woman of Indian origin, woman, to go to the space after Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams. That is also important. Okay, it might be asked in first woman, second woman, third woman. So it is very important. Suborbital flight are helpful for microgravity research. They will use it. They would be far less expensive than carrying experiments and people to the ISS, that is International Space Stations. Suborbital flight could also be an alternative to parabolic flights in aeroplanes that space agencies currently use to stimulate zero gravity. Okay, so these are some of the important things about VSS Unity spacesuit. Okay. Next thing is flexible fuel vehicle. What is flexible fuel vehicle is FFV. So Union Government of India will issue new guidelines for the use of flexible fuel vehicle using flex engines. It is using by means of flexible engine by means of October. The guidelines will specify engine configuration and other changes required in vehicle to conform to stipulate changes in the fuel mix. What are FFVs? FFV is a modified version of vehicle that can run both in gasoline and doped petrol with different level of ethanol blend. Ethanol blends will be used, not a petrol. Ethanol blending will be used. FFV will allow vehicle to use all the blends and also run an unblended blend. It's not about only blend, it is also use unblended fuels. FFVs have compactable engine to run more than 84% of ethanol blended protocol. So if it is due to the petrol and diesel rate is increasing, if they announced in October, then the engine state will be according to our need. We can use by means of ethanol level fuel, and we can use it out with the minimum amount of spending. Okay, so next one is Lemur elephant resource. What is Lemur elephant resource? Where it is, why it is in use? It is located in Chhattisgarh, a very important place, and it was proposed in 2005 and got central approval in 2007. Why it is in use? It is planned to prevent human-animal conflict in the region, with elephants moving into Chhattisgarh from Odisha and Jharkhand. So elephant will be moving to decrease human-animal conflict. Why it is in news means they are in a plan to decrease the area from 1995 to 450 square kilometer. So if they decrease the area from 1995 to 450 square kilometer, the animals which are roaming from Chhattisgarh to Odisha and Jharkhand will be highly affected because they decreases. Why they are decreasing this area? For means of coal utility, because because it is a coal producing state, right? So they cannot increase a coal productivity by means of allocating this much area for human animal conflict, so they are in a plan to reduce this. So this is the 32 elephant resource in India. I was talking about this Lemur elephant reserve. So this is the place, and it's moving from Odisha, moving to Jharkhand. These are the places they are roaming around, and this is they want to decrease the area from 1995 to 50 square kilometer. It also leads to some disasters to animal, right? This about the news, and you can see about this 32 elephant resource which is given in this map. Okay guys, so thank you for your hearings, and please subscribe for backbenchers. I'll meet you on tomorrow's current affairs. Thank you guys.